What is going on, everybody? It is MJG Trades. This is my first video on the YouTube. So before we dive into this video, I want to touch over a couple things that I think are important. This is not my first, my main account, I should say. My main account is my TikTok page. As you guys can see, MJG_trades on TikTok. I also have an X page, MJG_trades. And now we have the YouTube channel. So basically, I post information on all three of these things. It's all a little bit different. And then I also have a Patreon. If you guys want the exact take profit, stop loss levels, thesis behind these plays, and just a bunch of information, additional information on these names, feel free to check it out. Link is in the description down below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into our top three this week. Now, starting off, these are in no particular order, by the way. We are going to be taking a look at Amazon. What I have here is the 30-minute chart put up on Amazon. What we have is a clean 5-wave down, 1, 2, into a deep 3, up 4, into a down 5. It looks like we are going to be starting up our next 5-wave up cycle. Now, the reason I believe this is in fact the case is because I believe Amazon here is ready for its next leg up. We can see the PE has been coming back in line to where I believe their fair value is at. Amazon is another benefactor of AI, and I believe getting out of this volume that it has been stuck in for a while is going to be able to set it up to begin to break up towards the all-time high at 238. And I believe that's what's coming next here for Amazon. It's the one name that really hasn't, given too much over the last couple of years compared to some other names, but it is, in my opinion, ready to go now. We are seeing a clean breakout of the trend line. We are seeing a bit of a retest. Ultimately, I want to see this name pull back to this lower half of the trend line, about 221 to 222. Even 223 could hold, and ultimately, we are going to be approaching up to 231. Now, these plays are, they can take 1 to 2 weeks to play out, typically when we are looking at charts like this. But I believe this is a great risk to reward setup. And if you guys do want, like I said, want those exact take profit and stop loss levels, head over to the Patreon. Next on our list, we have Baidu. This is a Chinese name. This is an hourly. I want to show you guys a couple charts though on Baidu. When you look at it on the daily time frame here, what we are seeing with Baidu is a very, very clean breakout of the 118 level. This breakout happened on September 19th, so about a month ago. Now from there, we broke out from 118, quickly went up to 150, and now we are retesting, which is coinciding with our 50 SMA. This was a major breakout level into a retest. One of the best setups, I believe, to trade. It gives you a huge risk to reward, probabilities. And overall, I believe China Tech is ready to go. I've been talking about this for a while. Hence why I love a stock like Tiger. I believe is incredibly fundamentally undervalued. But this is the other play that I am going to be, another play that we are watching this week. When we dive into the hourly chart, we can see it on a much tighter time frame here. We are seeing a bit of a breakout here on this, a small amount of data that I do believe can push us up to our, $130 per share here in the coming week. That is where I'm looking for Baidu to go. But with that being said, I believe Baidu's chart is looking explosive. I think within 1 to 2 weeks, this name is going to appreciate rapidly just due to this major sell-off and its relatively massive undervaluation, in my opinion. Last play we're going to look at is Credo. Now, Credo, the reason we are taking this play is for what we are seeing on the Russell 2000 at this time. When we look at the Russell on a weekly, we can see that we are breaking out. Credo is one of the largest names in the Russell 2000. This has been stuck in this range since 2021. As you can see, we tried to come over again in 2024 to test it, sold off in a major fashion, and now we are finally breaking out. This will set a name like Credo, who's one of the biggest names in the Russell 2000, up for a huge run. So when we just take a quick look at Credo on the daily, this is what the chart looks like. So as we can see, we are respecting our 50-day SMA. We ultimately gapped up above old resistance, sold off to retest this level. And when I look at this name on an hourly chart, what I'm expecting and where I think the best buying opportunity is going to come in here is at about $150 a share, all the way up to about $152 a share is going to be a great buy, in my opinion. I believe you're going to get some retest down in this level before beginning this major cycle higher, ultimately breaking out of all-time highs. Price to earnings, this company is valued very heavily. Now, I will say, from an annualized basis, going from 58 million to 436 million in 4 years is insane. And when we look at just the jump from 23 to 24, we are seeing, almost a 200% increase in revenue. Thus you can justify a much higher price to earnings multiple. Operational efficiency seems to be, very evident here. Everything seems to be coming online, you know, as revenues are coming up, net income's going up. Annualized basis too, we are seeing this as well. So yeah, those are my top 3 plays in no particular order that we are going to be watching this week. I will be following up with these plays. Typically on my Patreon, it's going to be 2 to 3 times a week, giving all the updates. On TikTok and YouTube, these are going to be probably once a week. We'll be taking a look at and give you guys my updates on everything. But with that being said, that is it for this video. Please let me know what you guys want to see in the next video, but these are the top 3 stocks I'm going to be watching. If you guys are interested in my other accounts, it is MJG_trades on both TikTok and X. You guys can go ahead and check all that stuff out. But with that being said, also, if you want to check out the Patreon too, that is where I spend a lot of my time. I try to deliver as much value as I can for free. That is just information that is like very, very much in detail for traders that need all that information. But with that being said, guys, we will see you in the next one.